To explain about the cell geometry topic. So in the cell geometry, we have the circular footprint or the actual radio coverage area, which is assumed to be circular shape. So let me call this as the radio coverage area. Radio coverage area. So this radio coverage area, it is assumed to be circular, wherein we have a omnidirectional antenna placed at the center. So this is how we ideally consider it. So in case of omnidirectional antenna, it exhibits a circular the circular footprint or the radio coverage area. So this radio coverage area has another name, which is footprint basically. Okay, so according to this consideration, we may desire that the cell geometry should be circular in shape, but the main issue with the circular comes in two parts. So with the circular geometry, we have two issues. First is the gaps, and second is the overlaps. So the gaps and the overlaps are the two causes of the concern, because if you observe circular cells, they may leave some gaps, like this is the gap which is in the middle, which is left out. Or if you want to go ahead with covering the entire area, there might be overlaps, as we see over here in this set of image and in this set of image. So these two problems in the circular geometry make it undesirable. So basically we set the basic the parameters, we can say, for the cell geometry. What are those basic parameters? That we should, number one, have no gap and no overlap, and secondly, we should have a regular pattern to cover it, to have the coverage, regular pattern to cover the coverage area. So by the coverage area, I mean the entire area wherever we need to provide the service. So we need to have this the coverage area being covered by a regular shape. So the regular shape which we can think of are three possibilities: square, triangular, and hexagonal. So in case of square or triangular, the main problem why we do not go for them is, number one, that they have unequal distance to the edges. So for a square, the distance from here to here and the distance from here to here, so these two distances are not equal. Similar goes with the triangular geometry. So what do we do now? So in case, to avoid that, we go towards the hexagonal geometry. So the hexagonal geometry is the ideal choice because it is the most closest approximation to the circular footprint. So if you observe that we have an omnidirectional antenna placed here, and even though if it has a circular footprint, it is the most closest to that to have this entire area covered effectively. So we go for this hexagonal geometry, and that's what I have written over here. I'll provide